This
or through a
conference will
mass
now be recorded.
Mm-hmm.
through a mass load. So that in that case, I can just assign this profile instead of maintaining all those lot size parameters.
Yeah, good.
And moreover, like I've gone through some document and it says like this profile is mainly assigned to the people who are using SNP optimizer, or in case of TLB. I'm not sure like how this is different, because when I assign this lot size profile, I tried to raise a product, order in RRP3.
Mm-hmm.
It picked up the value which I have given. So if
Yeah.
it was only meant for TLB or optimizer,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know like why it picked up in
It picks
the
up because
planning.
you have maintained a value. That's true. The only thing is what we see there, that what are the value it is picking up. So when you see at a product master level, what is needed for us? So it is already maintained by us in ECC and it is brought us to the forward. But if you see, for example, we will take the same example of transport road builder. So maybe I'm producing it in say cages, but when I'm trying to transport it, I will never say how what is my truckload. As kgs, I will say ton load. Let us say, so my truckload be will weigh about 10 tons load or 100 tons load, something like that. Now the material which I'm producing is in kgs, and when I'm trying to upload or download the material from the trucks, it says tons. So now there I'm need of it, and you see that there's no great mass differences you see in the context of planning. So for example, you're not doing anything in the context of PPDS tab there. You don't have something in the context of PPDS. This is only about the lot size wherein you are, and also you see that the conversion was also maintained. Only then it is allowing you to maintain the lot size
Yeah.
profile, because
Yes.
you already said what does it mean, but 1 kg is equal to say, or like 100 kg is equal to 1 ton. So, either you are producing it in kgs, or though you are saying it in tons, it is not impacting it. That's a very major reason why I was asking you to just do that. That's a very good exercise which you have done. I appreciate that. And
Thank you.
it also gives you an overall view that okay, how you can maintain multiple, or why you should maintain multiple say lot size profiles. So maybe for truck I say tons. Maybe if I have a small wagoner, or you say I have a small car wherein I have to make my materials movement, probably then again I have to maybe I have to say some, say for example cases, let us say. In that case, maybe one case is equal to 50 kg, something as such. In that case, probably I have to maintain another lot size profile. But where does it really make sense to me is not, it doesn't really impact me in the context of planning of production to it, but only in the context of shipment. I'm doing this variation, right? So as we also see in the product master, as how in the ECC also, material
Yes.
master has different views of say finance, costing, warehouse, and all. In a similar fashion, you also see the same material master. It is extended to say PPDS or SNP, and even the demand part. I have also shown you the forecast one. That means it also has something relevance to the DP, and also with some other special advanced planning options like say SPP, spare parts planning, or you also have this event management and all, which also has their some settings which are relevant for them. So however, what we see is that a lot less profile can be maintained by us, which cannot be as a default value, but it still needs a conversion rule, and only then it is allowed to maintain the lot size profile. Okay,
Okay.
now we will go further to see the PPDS tab. Uh, but 1 minute, let me just log on to the SAP screen. So let me know once you are able to see the SAP screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I assume that you have already gone through the CIF construction document which was sent
Yes.
to you, and at the same
Ye
time that Excel sheet which speaks about all the different transactions, the different like monitoring and all. So I have not discussed too much of them in detail, but let me know if you feel that okay, this is something as as a transaction which I was not aware, which we have to discuss. So on wait, if say
Uh,
tomorrow we will speak about them all together, maybe just keep a comment on the Excel which I have sent you. Like, okay, I need to know this about this, or I am aware of this, something as such, so that we can quickly go through.
okay, Raghu, like I just wanted to know like how we can mass delete any planned orders or or any forecast the mass deletion I mean if there is any jobs or like that, you can just let me know if like tomorrow also it is fine.
Mass deletion, you want to do it. So you have
Yes.
a very beautiful transaction called RRP4, so which is for receipts. Okay, so just select the product, and if it is for multiple materials, so select all the products and just at one single go you can do it. Let me just show you if you are able to see my SAP screen now.
Yeah,
Do you see this?
1 minute. Yeah.
But before you really do this, ensure that you are deleting the right ones. So I'm
Yeah.
keeping it star so that you can see many number of materials, and I'm also giving this a star, and I'm just keeping the time horizon as 2018 to 10, this 1 month of duration. So probably we don't get too many of entries because it's being an IDS system, but in the real time you would expect too many entries to come up. So you could see all the stock, you could see the planned orders, process orders, all of them. Probably on the filter you can do this. So
And I need some more help on this scheduling background jobs, Raghu.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I just want to show you how does it look like, but ensure that whenever you're trying to delete, so for multiple orders, multiple materials, especially, are you trying to select, are you trying to delete the right per now amount? But why do you require that to delete the planned orders at one single go?
Because yesterday we were doing some testings and the cutover is going on. In queue system, there were a lot of old planned orders which were there, which was got stuck in this queues. So I wanted to delete, but I was trying to delete them as a material wise in RRP3. I've taken a list from CCR and I was trying to delete it from the RR3 manually for each product.
So in CCR also you should be having an option where it should be,
N- No,
clearing the
there is like
inconsistency.
it is an inconsistency, like not in R3, like not in APO, like that.
Mm-hmm.
So those kinds of records, it is not giving an option to delete. Um, so in that case, I was trying to delete it from manually from RRP3.
Okay. So let it loaded by the time we will quickly see how does it really speaks about the other options for us.
And
So
one more, Raghu, one more thing, like how we can do a mass load of materials.
mass load of materials. I didn't get your question. Can you come again?
Instead of manually creating products in MM01, how can
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm sorry. There are few, like for example, 1,000 products in APO, which are already been shipped from ECC. And if I wanted to make some product master changes, like I wanted to update heuristics for 1,000 products, is there any transaction I can do for all of them, the updates?
Yeah. So from what majorly they would do is they have this batch processing. It's a purely an ABAP concept. wherein they do something called as maybe if out of your interest, if you really want to know, there's something called as the recording session. They record the screens. So as how we are trying to record now the similar way, they record the screens in which system has to navigate. Say for example mm01, it has to execute the material details, and then it has to go to the next screen where it has to enter the units of measure, and then say mrp1 with material mrp type and all those things. Okay, so now they do it for one single material, they record it, and they get the field values and in which field value what is expected. So let us say for mrp type, so you have a whole file, you have a whole excel which speaks about 1000 or 10,000 records, how many number it is, how much of a number it is. So first they will see what is the mapping of the values fields. So they say they maintain the same sequence in the excel as how it takes by step by step. So first comes the units of measure, right, and then it comes with the mrp type, followed by the
Yeah.
say mrp control, and then say lot size. So this is the same sequence. It also maintains the field values even in the excel, and using that batch process they will upload this. So system automatically picks up the values from the excel, and it populates into that material, and finally you get that 1000 or 10,000 records get created
Okay.
after the batch execution. So this is
So
a standard procedure which they follow. So uh,
same with the product master changes. If there are fields which is not available in material master, same process is followed.
they can do it. I don't say this is a standard way only for doing it, because maybe if it is too many products to really do it, you have. But however, you have a transaction called master, where if I have to just maintain one single value for all of them, I can use this transaction master, which is for example, I have 1000 metrics already existing in APO, but for all this 1000, there is one field missing. Say product heuristic, let us say. So in that case, I can either use that same batch process, or either I can also use the master transaction where I can maintain for multiple at a one single go, as how we maintain in the Excel the values. Similarly, we can just maintain there and do it. So it's not suggested to do that on a frequent basis until unless it is really needed, but you still have an option to really execute it.
Okay.
Now let us go to the product master to visit back
Yeah.
the same API at one, and probably then we would see. So for, you had an issue where you were not really able to delete all of the planned orders at a one single go, right? There is also some report which is there which actually deletes the old planned orders with with some date range. Uh, just give me a minute. Let me see if I
Oh,
can
yeah. Yeah.
show you that also. But when you're executing that report, which I'm saying, ensure that you're uh, quite sure with the dates and times, because once you have deleted, then it's gone forever. So we have no clue what was the value of it. So probably we don't have even a mechanism for restoring those planned orders which you created, because they're not found. So you don't even find the entry sometimes in ECC. So it's gone forever.
Yeah.
So you should be very careful in those transactions,
Yeah.
which I
Yeah.
want to say. Can you see this, my screen now?
Yes, Raghu.
So this is what it has now given us, the whole list of materials which had some supply elements like assembly, planned orders, purchase orders and all. So you will also see the planned orders in the same fashion.
Yes.
So this is the transaction BP2 which I was uh, saying to you for objects to be deleted. So for that in-house, it is especially meant for the process orders or production orders which are too old. Uh,
O- Okay.
but you are only in need of the planned orders, am I right?
Yes. No, yesterday I got a request like that. Then I thought of asking. I never did this mass deletions and all.
Mm-hmm. If I have a category, say AI, planned orders. So be selective and take care of your time buckets which you are maintaining here.
Okay.
You just give the product and location and type, and you should be having an additional column for time. So, however, you can explore this transaction for better
Yeah. Yeah.
understanding, and only just try to see it in the lower environments with some materials and just try then execute it in some other system.
Yeah.
But I don't really strongly suggest you this to do it because I'm not sure about what is the outcome if you are trying to date something which may not be again reproducible. Then you should be very
Yes.
tricky in conducting this.
Correct.
So, okay, however, this being an idea system, what it's saying is this ERPCL delta is marked to deletion. Okay, that's fine. You will never see this type of errors in your real-time system, however, because we never make that as an absolute value. I mean, making the what do we say that the whole system as absolute. We don't do that. Maybe because we have base system and all, they'll try to take care of it and all.
Yes.
Okay, so I have this whole orders here. So let me select this blend order and let me if I'm deleting this from here, that means you can do it for all. Okay, if I'm able to delete it
Yes.
in this from here,
Yes.
I can delete it from, right.
Yeah.
So I have deleted. So in the same fashion, you could do it, and the very helpful thing for you here is that you can maintain your date times ranges. Okay, and
Yeah.
you're also what are the materials which are going to impact, so no any surprises for you again. So that's
Yeah.
good thing. Okay, so I hope it answers your question. Before you have also you have this the transaction BG1 which you can use the both maybe
BP2.
so BP2 you can also use this for for the deletion of the transactional data.
Yeah.
At the same time, it may be out of your interest, just to give you a hint, we also have the other transaction called the BP3 for sending the master data. So this whenever we use it, right, especially when uh, you feel that okay, my master data was somehow it was not up to the mark, or it was has to be really recent. In that case, we send this. So let me also show you that transaction. It's also another interesting transaction. So you see here, you have something sending back, say products. Okay, I'm supposed to maintain the target system. 1 minute.
Mm. This is from AP or Raghu?
Yeah. It's from APO.
Okay.
So maybe if you see sometimes that it also gets connected to say XI system and all, APO system gets connected to XI system and all. In that case, it makes very much sense with this transaction, because instead of again resending from ECC, you can also use APO as a sending node. So that's another way of actually sending it. So I also have this type of sending modes like IDOC, intermediate document. Maybe you will be hearing about this many times, right? IDOC, or it can be a
Yes.
RFC function call or TRFC, transactional remote function call. So depending on that, they just send this data, master data, to the other legacy system, and it never happens again to send it to ECC, because ECC is the final one, or it is the execution system. So never we really do the changes to APO and send to ECC. It never happens. It's only about for any other system you want to do it, you can do.
Okay.
Maybe just for your out of interest, you can also see and explore this transaction BP3. Only if you have any other systems which are getting connected external systems other than ECC and APO, like XI system and all, then it makes no sense. But out of interest, you can still see it's also BP3.
Okay.
We already had an mat one transaction. Hmm. So now let's see. We have finished with the lot size, right?
Yes. Raghu, I just wanted to check like this safety stock method is there, right, in a lot size stamp. Do we do we use that for PPDS, or it is meant for APO only, SNP?
No. What I mean by safety stock method?
Mm. like
Let me show you the
I
F4
I
help
do
more
I don't know
for
much like it has static safety stock method and dynamic safety stock methods. Like
that's correct. So
yeah,
those all which start with this MMM. These are
yeah.
especially meant for your SNP. Okay, and the rest of them they are meant for you know maybe DP or PPDS also. Let me just speak in the context of SP if you made it safety stock location product master. What does it mean?
So
So
whatever
I
safety stock we are maintaining in the product master, it will pick up from there, the safety stock.
correct. So will that also impact my production planning? Obviously, yes, right.
Obviously, yeah, yeah,
So I'm just considering one safety stock method as SP,
okay,
which really makes more sense to us in the context of production when it happens.
yeah,
Okay, let's see an assumption. Let's come to a situation where I have maintained my safety stock quantity value as say 100. Okay,
yeah,
and currently I don't have any stock for this material. What are the material for which I have maintained safety stock? And suddenly I get a sale order, say for 1,000 units. And now, as I don't have enough stock, my system has to now generate a planned order for 1,000, assuming if it is of type lot to lot, right?
okay.
Okay, but now does it really sufficient is sufficient for me to create planned order of 1,000?
No, because we need to have minimum safety stock of 100,
Correct. So now what my system does is it creates a planned order of 1,100.
1100. Yeah,
So though you have maintained it as lot to lot, lot for lot, I'm sorry, lot for lot, but still you get it as 1100 because the safety stock was also considered which you have maintained it at lot size. Now let us say if you have maintained a rounding procedure also. Let's see. So rounding procedure you have maintained it as say rounded to 1500 every time. Or round it every time you create a plan order you should round it up to 1500. Now what happens? Now the plan order, so the same sale order was 1,000, the safety stock was still 100, but still it is rounded up to 1500. So my plan order quantity will be
1500.
उतना आगे नहीं है जस्ट स्टार्टिंग में
Yeah,
क्या बोल इसे बोलना है हाँ
you
हाँ ये पाँच
also want me to look for quantity and create wherein these safety stock methods, especially the auto what the system looks for. So if you have an active material, try to so we are going to speak about the interesting characteristic. Then changing its values, how it is varying, you can clearly see that. The rounding value, which I was just now speaking about. So that
yes,
visualize and see how the percentage difference okay, how it compares itself. So that you can see.
yes.
Okay, so we have now today come to the PPDS step. Very important. So out of all, we will first see this the planning procedure or the product heuristic. So before we really move on to this concepts and all, let me introduce you with the three levels of planning possibilities with PPDS actually consists of. Somehow I hear echo of my own voice. I don't know why.
Here there is a lot of network issue, Raghu. Probably because of that.
Okay.
We don't have proper signal here.
Hmm. I know it's a pain point. We have the AP planning procedure. We have heuristics. We have interactive planning. Within this interactive planning, we have interactive planning tools. We have interactive planning methods. Okay. So this will be the whole sessions which we are going to speak. So these are the three segments on which we are really going to majorly classify it. So our session mostly when probably after we come to the completion of all these topics, we will have a more maturity towards how is the whole PPDS works, what are the functionalities it offers, and what are the different configurations you should be aware in the context of working with PPDS. So those all will be the achievement points for you when you have finished with this course with this all special topics, which are the whole heart of whole PPDS.
Okay. So what are these called, Raghu? These three?
Planning capabilities of PPDS.
Okay.
So let's speak about each and what are the different challenges it possesses of. So in PPDS tab, probably I know it's already half time has passed. So let me not start with this planning procedure. Okay, let me start with the planning procedure only. Maybe it will take half an hour plus time. So what is the planning procedure? We start discussing today. So by the very naming convention, what do you understand? Planning procedure, what it
Mm,
consists of?
pla-
Yeah, give some thought process.
Basically tells the system how to plan, taking what parameters into consideration. But I don't know like what parameters are being considered in this planning procedure.
Yeah,
Basically it is telling the system like you need to consider these things and you need to plan.
very good. So that much more awareness you are gonna get now. So planning procedure is a set of events which system has to consider for planning a material. So it's a set of events, actions to take. Okay. So before we really see into the materialistically onto the system, I'll just take you a small example, make you go through with a small example, and then we will try to see the same system. And then you see, okay, you don't really use the standard planning 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 till 7, which we have as only the planning procedures which you use, but you also have sometimes a customized planning procedures according to the client's requirement. Okay, so whatever the planning procedure it is, what are you trying to understand from that should be clear for you. So what was the intention for maintaining the procedure should be clear for you. So for that reason, we are understanding the basic overall functionality. Then probably once we look into the system about the configuration, it's quite easy for you to relate.
Okay.
So let us say I have a plant of this. I'm taking this shape. So I also have say material. Whenever you see for a particular, maybe you say the go down, or you say warehouse, or when you say like when the actually the trucks come into the place to download the material. So maybe you also see it as a parking lot, let us say. Okay,
Yeah.
parking lot where you will try to park the material for some time, and from there again you will pick it to respective locations. So let us say this is also one of the location which I have it at my plant location, and let us say I have a warehouse also. I'm just taking the typical three different shapes so that we can quickly identify the differentiation.
Yeah.
For most of the cases in the supply chain process is a triangle stands for a DC or a warehouse. Okay, so now let us
Yeah.
say I am supposed to do the planning for the system called material one. Whenever it comes, it has to follow a certain sequence. It has to follow a sequence of steps like this, for example. So, say it first has to move from parking lot to say DC, and then from the DC, it has to move to plant. Let us say this is the way how I do the planning for this so-called material one every time when it comes
Okay.
from some other vendor, or maybe from another production unit. From it, if it comes to this so-called plant 1000, this is the way how this material should be planned. So I know that this is a specific event where like from parking lot to DC it has to move. Maybe there should be a purchase requisition, or there should be uh, some document discuss that okay, this particular material has been moved from parking lot to DC, and in the same fashion it also has to move from the DC to other plant. Again, it should also maintaining some say sale order or something as such with that has started using this material in 10,000, let us say. So this is a known procedure for me, and I have to now make it as a feasible plan for in the system, so that every time with this material and the requirement for this comes, it follows this order, right? So how I can achieve it? I can use the help of this planning process, where I say the movement of this material from parking lot to say DC as an event, and say movement from DC to plant is also another event. So it's which way I'm creating up. So now let us say this so-called material one. I just have to increase the complexity now. Imagine the material is moving from parking lot as a raw material. It is moving to plant 1000, and from there I'm just trying to do some value addition, and then I'm sending it to DC distribution center. Just imagine, okay, the other way around now. So the movement now goes from this rhombus to the square to this rectangle and then the triangle. You get me? Or you want to really draw me again? All right.
Yes. Yes. No, I get that.
Yeah. So in that case, probably I see there are different types of events because I should also do some production here, and only then I have to send it to the DC now. So it's just not just sending of the material, but it's something else I have to do in that context, and I mean, say production and something as such, and then move it to DC. So these are the different types of events, and I also should do some action towards it. Like, so what is an action which you are going to do? What are the different options we have that we are going to see in the system, and then it makes more sense to you. So let me now show you where do we really maintain this, and how it is going to give this different events as a structure we are going to see now. So I hope you're able to see my SAP screen.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Probably I should re-log in. I'm I'm sure these are all new topics to you, and I hope you're enjoying this with the examples. Or please let me know if really they have to change.
No, it is good, Raghu.
I'm logging you off here.
Okay.
So do you see my screen now?
Yes.
I mean, if we are I'm just helping you to see the navigation how I can where I can maintain the planning process. So under production planning and detailed scheduling, I have an option called maintain planning procedures. Do you see this option?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, we see the planning procedures. So
Yes.
of which the material which you have selected it had a planning procedure called 4. Okay, I'm right.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, but how we can pick any of them, that's fine completely. So let us see what are the events and then let's try to relate the same example and then probably it makes more sense. So I'm selecting the 4 planning procedure and direction to the events. Let me quickly make you go through what are the different events which we have. So for example, create or change a purchase requisition in our TP system. Create or change a purchase order in our TP system. Or change stock in our TP system. Change the sale order configuration in our TP system. Create or change dependent reservations in our TP system. Um, for a better understanding and quick understanding, I'm just making it much more simpler events. Say, for example, here we have create or change sale order in multiple system. Okay, so
Okay.
or change stock in multiple system is also something is a very good example which you see. And create an in-house production order in PPDS. Okay, let's take this and also create a planned order. So let us take this few for examples. So create a sale order first and then change or say create a planned order in PPDS. So we were taking the other way around where I get a material from a parking lot and then I
Hello.
go to the plant and do some production. The can you hear me?
The voice is getting disconnected, Raghu.
Do you hear me now better?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I was speaking to the other way around of our example where the material flows from the parking lot and it moves up the line.
Hello.
Yes, Rita, I can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it is audible.
Okay, so somehow just to give you the glimpse of these events, I'm changing this diagram with colors. Okay, I have applied the changes now. So we'll take the same example, parking lot, you get some raw material, and then raw material, or let us say semi-finished, or just to say I have to just unwrap the material and I have to do something. Okay, I'm just not producing something because I have got it the whole produced material. I have to just unwrap it, I have to clean it, and then I have to send it to DC. Just imagine this as a very simple process of understanding.
Yeah.
Hope you got me.
Yes.
Shweta?
Yes, Raghu. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Y- Hello?
Hello.
Y- Yes, Raghu, now I'm able to hear you. Hello?
No, I was speaking altogether. Yeah, I was speaking. So somehow I was speaking about the change of the example here. Now, where from parking and from plant, they does some production
Oh God.
activity, and then it's sent to DC. Okay, which I have a classification, right?
Yes.
Can you come
Mm. Hello?
I hope you can see my screen, right? Hello.
This
Yeah.
conference will now be recorded.
Planning procedure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So you can quickly log on to Mat1. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, go to
yeah.
PPDS tab. Yeah, you are. So you're speaking about the planning procedure, which is actually what does the planning procedure means now to us? Can you please tell me after our discussion?
Uh, it's a set of events or actions which system needs to consider for planning a material.
Correct. Very good. That's what a whole planning procedure means. So we have seen about a few events by for better understanding and to understand like how does it really work. So for any of your business process, when you see any planning procedure assigned, so now that you are aware of how do you see it or what does it mean, so that you should be seeing up and see like for example, these are the 1 to 7 which are there. These are the standard, but you also see and custom numbers also sometimes some custom alphabet something as such which will be used by the business. So you are supposed to see them. So whenever you see that number, just go to that planning procedure and see what are the events which they have assigned to it, and that gives you a much more understanding about what are the processes which they actually use, and maybe you will be able to relate more to the business context.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Raghu. Am I?
I'm audible, right? Okay. So if that's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
case, go quickly. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes. Hello.
I'm audible. Okay, then please go to a new creation of a new session where we can see the rest of the other options which are respected to our planning procedure. So for that, I want you to open a new session for SPRO. So I want you to do this exercise because it makes more sense than I sharing you the screen. But when you do it, you have that more feeling. Where do I maintain it and all? So there's a very reason why I made it present. Okay. So SAP reference IMG. Yeah. Do you remember the navigation, advanced planning and
Yes, in
optimization?
PPDS. Yeah, in PPDS.
Yeah.
It is there.
Yeah. This is. Yeah.
Okay. So mainly I've seen for most of the products they are using planning and planning run.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, So in the configuration they have maintained heuristics as standard lots. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
So was
like
that your
it's
question? Sorry.
uh, uh, no what I'm saying over here.
So once we discuss about heuristic, probably you will understand okay, how does it. I'm sure your voice is breaking for me. Am I am I audible to you or is my voice breaking to you?
No, you're audible to me. You're audible to me. Hello.
Sorry.
You're audible to me, Raghu.
Okay, but your voice is breaking to me. I don't know.
I think it's again the network
Mm.
problem. Today I'm
Okay, I'm
going to
audible,
fix
right?
it.
Okay.
Yeah, today I'm going to fix it. I asked someone to come and check. Mm, Okay.
Okay. So
So this
what
set of actions, it's
what I want you to
some,
do here is in the
yeah.
context of planning procedures. I'm sorry, I really don't get your point. I could hardly hear you.
Uh,
How no?
Hello.
Okay, can you do a small favor to me? Can you give a chat?
Sorry.
Yes, Sarita. What I see is maybe I can hardly hear your voice. Can you do a small favor? Can you use the chat option to describe your question properly?
Y-
You have chat option over in the bottom, right? Chat.
Yes, 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 yes. Mm,
You can use that, or maybe your OneNote would help me.
Hello.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah, Raghu. So I was asking about these entries, these events.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get what these events are.
So no. BOP. These are all different topics. Don't please combine all of them. Let us first
Okay,
start to understand what is an event, and then what we see is the action towards an event. Okay. So this
okay,
is like
yeah,
a step by step procedure. So yesterday we were discussing about a whole planning procedure is nothing but a set of events and actions to be performed. That's what was a statement from me, if you remember,
yes,
right?
yeah,
And I was
yeah,
defining planning procedure.
yes,
Okay. So typically we took a small example wherein I had to only configure three different steps. If you remember, it
yes,
was like there was a parking lot from which the material has to move to a plant, and maybe there should be a small operation done, say unwrapping of the packing material,
yeah, and again back.
packing which is done from the parking lot, and then move to the DC. This is a small example where material has to
Yes,
undergo these three movements, from one from the parking lot to plant, and from the plant to a DC. So now for that, maybe the system has to do some automation process, like whenever the material is there in parking lot, and when let us say that material is planned in APO, let us say. So if it is manually done, probably you have the MRP controllers or you have the planners who know that okay, they have to create a document where which they have to post when the material is moving from say parking lot to the plant. Say for example, it's a stock transfer order.
yes,
Okay, and
yes,
whenever the DC is asking, maybe let us say it's a sale order relevant, because the movement only goes to there if the DC only when you have a strong customer order. So they will try to create a customer order or sale order, let us say, and then they make the transfer of material from the plant to DC. So just we know understand that okay, there are two different types of documents the system has to create for the two different movements, material movement which is happening, right? So this
yeah,
is what if I manually have to do it, probably I have to create these two documents. But because it is being planned by APO, that means that this process of creation of a sales document, this process of creation of a stock transfer order should also be taken care by APO, right?
yes, yeah,
Yeah. So how it can do it? So we can take the help of this planning procedure. So now you go back to the four, the planning with planning. Then let us go, or you take any of the one, because what I want you to understand is first essentially the events. What are the events? Okay. So only then we will see what is the action which we can take against the event. So just select one single line item completely and go to reaction to events. Select any line item. Select the whole line item.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then I double click
Now
on
you
this,
go
right?
to reaction to it.
Yes,
Correct. Is the screen freezing to me, or is it the same way for you? What does
How
it say?
how
It says function code cannot be set. Okay. Can you select any other line item? Say one.
I can see the set of events, Raghu. You're not able to see?
Okay. Now I am seeing it. Till the last
Uh,
second, which when you were speaking, it was the initial screen only. Okay. So now let's go to the events first. Let's only focus on events.
yeah,
The first one we have. No, not that
yeah,
one. The first one, create or change purchase. The first one.
yeah.
Correct. So these are all events. So probably on your business setup and on knowing your business process, like what are the things the system has to do now. So we took this small example, right? That is three events which we had to configure for our business case, where
Yeah.
the material has to move from one place to another place. That is three places altogether. But now you could imagine there can be many other things which system has to follow now. See, for example, create or change a purchase requisition. Okay, create or change a purchase order. So as you see that, so you are trying to now correlate to this the same event probably. But there will be many other material movement types within in-house also, within the MRP also, with MRP area to the actual plan. Maybe there also they want to do some documentation to be processed and all. In that context, maybe the number of events the system has to do it may increase. Agreed.
Yes. Correct.
So the very important takeaway point is like what is an event and why it should be maintained. So if that is clear for you, then probably what are the number of events you see. Maybe it is see or custom, that doesn't matter because it's only about what are the different steps it is going to follow. Okay, just remember the small diagram which I have shown and what were the two
Yeah.
events which we have talked about, and then if you for on your on your business complexity, you would see the number of events they just are configured according to their requirement. So they have some
Yes.
procedures here wherein on which basis they have to do it. So it's not the same for all of them, but as I said you 1 2 3 4, these are like these are the standard mostly used planning procedures, but it doesn't suit for everyone, so probably they will try to adopt the Z, like they can go for any alphabet number like ABC and all for the custom planning procedures, wherein they will
Okay.
create the set of events which they have to follow, and then the rest of the other action towards doing it, that will be done. So whether it's a standard or whether it's a custom, what we have to see is what are the events which the system consists of, or what does it does in the context of that special planning procedure. That should be a thing which you should be looking into. So does it
Oh.
gives you a clear
Yes. Yes, Raghu.
understanding what does an event means now?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm speaking. Do you hear me? Yeah, Sarita, I'm speaking. Do you still hear me or not? Sarita, you can't hear me? Hello.
This conference will now be recorded.
Uh, I hope my voice is audible and it's clear.
Yes,
Is it?
yes, it is clear.
Okay. So do let me know once you are able to see my screen.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, we have started with the planning procedures. Great.
yes,
So we will just have a quick discussion of previous topics and then we'll proceed. So
yeah,
we were in product master and we were understanding of what are the three different ways of capabilities. And let me see if I can make you the presenter because this is to be more interactive. I would see it would be more grateful if you have made the presenter. Okay,
okay,
I'll request the organizer to do you the presenter so that you can
yeah,
open your SAP log on and probably you can just start sharing your screen. So
yeah,
probably you can start to log on your SAP. In the meantime, I will just give him a hint that you are supposed to be a presenter.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'll yeah, if you can do that, or you can also go for the navigation. Or
Yeah, it's in PPDS.
correct, it's in the PPT. Yeah, please execute it. So we were understanding about what does a planning procedure means. So what was your understanding? Can you please brief me, Sarita?
Um, it's a set of events or actions which the system will consider at the time of planning a material.
Perfect, very good. Not or, it's and. Events
Yes,
and action, right? So
yes,
select one of them, maybe the four. Which and did you have an opportunity to see, look around in your client? What were the different types of planning procedures did they used? And did you have to also see the SPR or transaction to see what were the events which they have updated? Did you have seen that?
for all of the products, they are maintaining planning procedure as four only. Um,
Okay, then that's fine. So these are
yeah,
standard 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 5, and 7 are there standard. But if you see like the one like U, X, or A, something like that, that you understand that it's something as a custom. If you come
yes,
across any material in that way, ensure that you are trying to visit this transaction and see what it actually consists of. So, however,
okay,
the complexity may be not be so easy for us to understand, but you have an idea that okay, how should or how do you read that is a very important thing. So,
yeah,
uh, probably we would be understanding that in the context of planning, the planning procedure helps the planner to automate, or you say like to ensure that every step of procedure has been addressed, right? So we took the same very simple example of three-step procedure of material moving from one place to another, right? And maybe there would be a need of creation of some documents from one moment to another moment. So for that, probably I can use the planning procedure. Right, Sarita?
yes, yes,
Okay. So you can go to the reaction to events, select that folder option. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you have many. So probably You can just imagine about the any events, and the beside one you have fixed pegging in multi-level planning. So so this specific option of fixed pegging in multi-level planning which you are seeing, if you can drill down it, you will see understand more about it. So this is maintained against every event. Do not create fixed pegging relationships, create fixed pegging relationships. So what is a pegging altogether?
Um, Pegging is nothing but it whenever there is a new requirement in the system, so it gets integrates with the receipt elements, um, stock, and whatever changes are there in the system, it integrates and creates all this.
Okay, so in a nutshell, can we say that it's a knitting of demand and supply elements,
Yeah, yeah,
right? It's in a simple
yeah,
fashion, right? So probably
yeah.
that gives me, so now I should understand, okay, when I'm trying to do a specific event, should that be creating a fixed pegging or not? So maybe here you would see that as do not create fixed pegging. Maybe in your client system you say it says create. That's completely fine. But
Yes.
what you have to just completely understand is that, okay, when you are trying to execute this, for example, say create a planned order in PPDS. You have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can you go to the sixth line in the event stage you have? Yeah. Can you expand that, that column? Yeah, create a planned order in PPDS. Yeah, please expand it. Okay. So create a planned order in PPDS is one of the action which you have mentioned. And should that planned order which was created, should it be having a fixed pegging relationship or not? So should it create a fixed pegging relationship or not? We are trying to say that's an also a type of action, right? But only in the context of pegging. And this is for what? For multi-level planning. So if you see that,
Okay.
it's only for multi-level planning. What does it mean by multi-level planning, Sarita?
uh, mm, Multi-level planning, it's actually meant for API, I'm thinking, because it does um, network level planning.
Okay, can you go open a small Excel for me?
Yeah.
And just give a minute. Okay, so to give you an understanding of multi-level planning, I will take an example of, say, a car. Okay, and for now let us assume car, it has, maybe it will be sellable for at a three different levels. Let us say car without color. Let us say for our understanding, okay, car, you just maintain one as a component as car without color, and then you say car with color, and then you say car with a carrier at the top. So what we see is it's still a car, but there was just a value addition of a color, or there was a value addition of a carrier. And why I have these three options, or why I have these three variants, and why I'm trying to classify it is because if I want to take a car without a color, so I say like I would be getting within 10 days. And say if I have to
Okay.
get it with color, maybe I say you're gonna get it within say 12 days. And let us say if I want a car with a color and also with a carrier, maybe the planner says I will get it within 15 days. So I see there's a change of MAD, material availability date, for every value addition which is happening over, right?
Yeah.
So it is still a car, right? It is still a car. Maybe the very purpose of using that product is still the same. Maybe it was just some value addition which you are trying to do it, and probably for that there was a change of material availability date. So this is what we see it as multi-level planning. So what are the different levels here? The first level without color, then with
Yeah.
color, and then with the carrier. So when you see the pegging relationships, if your product supports with multi-level planning, you would see these three levels of so how is your MID is varying, or how is the specific order which is created for which the MID is changing, you would see a pegging relationship occurring up. So maybe let us assume, so when you are trying to see the planned order for a car, you will just see the BOM bill of materials of it. Okay, so
Yes.
say your steering, your tires, everything has some of the dependent requirements for them. If it is a purchase requisition, it's a purchase requisition. If it is a planned order, it's a planned order. You would see all those things under a one single planned order called car. And addition to this, now if you say if you are trying to see also a component with car with a color, you will see an additional line item where you will see the maybe the planned order purchase requisition similarly for the car with a color, and again another line item for car with a carrier. Okay, so you see
Yeah.
that the way of knitting it is varying for every level of material, right? So this is what we see it as multi-level planning,
Okay.
right? So in this
Yeah.
context, for every step which is happening, should the system create a fixed pegging relationship, or it should just create the one and let the planner take it to his call that okay how it should be processed further? That's what it is trying to convey using the planning procedure, the one which you are trying to see now.
Okay.
That's it, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, now you can go back to the screen to see the planning procedure. Now you are now aware of what does it mean by fixed pegging in multi-level planning, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you can partially come left side. You are in the right corner now. Come to the left. Okay, action. Yeah. So this is the one. Yeah, action. So what is an action? So for a given event, what should system do? Do not carry out any action. Simple to understand. Create planning
Okay.
file entry. We can take this for our discussion. Start product heuristics. We will be more clear once I finish with the product heuristic what it means. Or you say cover all dependent or stock transfer requirements immediately or immediately if possible or with existing resources. So you see these three options that cover dependent requirements with stock
Yeah.
transfers, or yeah. So probably you can now fit to the same option of understanding how it goes in the action of every event. So just take one of them, which is quite simple for you, very easy. Take any event which is already there. Say for example, create a planned order in PPDS, which is also
Yes.
one of the very easy event for us to understand. Okay, so what was the action was asked by the system to do? Create a planning file entry. So what is a planning file entry?
Whatever requirement has come, it should
Hmm,
start planning for that planned order.
right. So maybe you are trying to say like what is a demand which has come, right? So
Yes.
you say sometimes maybe there was a planned order which was existing, or the planned order which has been created, and it has been changed because of the demand. Let us say. So say for example, the sale order quantity was say 1,000, and you have maintained a lot size for this material as say 500. So what happens? Probably you are supposed to create two planned orders because of the sale order, right?
Yes.
So you have
Yeah.
created two planned orders of say so-called 500 and 500. And now let us say change. There was a change in a demand, not 1,000. It is 1,050 now. Let us say. Probably I may have to consume a stock which is already existing, or I may have to do a change of one of the planned order size to 550. Let us say, if I'm able to do that. So this changes, I would say it's a planning file entry. Which system would do it and would be saving it for the further future reference of the user. Okay, that's what it means by creation of a planning file entry. Hope you got me,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So it gives you an understanding of what was the change it has system has done for the. It could be sometimes for the purely for the immediate independent requirement, or it can be sometimes due to the dependent requirements also somehow. But it's still about a change which has happened for the demand context and how it has been responded by the system, right?
Yeah. So
Okay,
whatever changes had happened in the system, it will adapt. That's what
correct.
it
You
is
will
called
clarify it.
as. Yeah, yeah.
Correct. So action, you have seen this create planning file entry is clear. Let us say covering of dependent requirements using the stock transfer or say the existing stock. So if it's like again you're trying to consider the existing stock which was not fixed to anything, or if you have if you're trying to speak for a material which has dynamic pegging. So we already spoke about dynamic pegging and what is static pegging, if you remember,
Uh, yeah,
fixed
yeah,
pegging,
yeah.
fixed pegging and dynamic pegging, right? So
Yes.
according to that, probably I would see that okay, what is the stock I have, to which can I either create, or to me I would be able to attach this demand with, or let me create a new one altogether. So on that basis, I can do this cover dependent requirement. So you have these three options here: requirements immediately, if possible, or with existing results. As accordingly, you will try to do it. And at what stage should I do it? It's a planner's call. It's a business call. They understand that okay, at what stage they have to do it. For which type of material should they do it? So they know that okay, they have a raw material. Just for your understanding, say, so they have, every time they know that they have an abundant stock items existing on their shop floor, they say, just why don't you try to see is there any existing receipt every time, and only then try to create a one for you, right? So but sometimes they
Okay.
say maybe it cannot be there every time, so probably in that case, suggestion, if it's possible, then you have to do it or not. So on that basis, you would be able to maintain your action. And is it for every product? So maybe you may ask me a question, Raghu, why don't they really do the planning of every material using a planning procedure? But what you see is that the system has to ensure, so the whole calculation process, or the whole the time duration for it to take the planning for, if I'm trying to do it for every material, it is a very huge process. It's a, it's going to be a very tedious process for the computer, for the system, right, to do the process for every product using a planning procedure. So what they do
Yeah,
is, only for precise materials for which you are aware of, this could be the possibilities, or this could be the set of events which would really occur, only for those they will try to use the planning procedure. So they will never use for all the products. Maybe they are maintained, but they will not use it for all the products, because it would be a very high computation uh, time, and also it takes too much of complexity of calculation when it is trying to do with for too many materials. Okay.
okay.
Okay, I hope it action is clear for you. Event, for every event there is an
Yes,
action. Yeah.
yes.
Okay. It is clear. Probably you can just go for slide right. The next one, reuse. Reuse mode. So though I am discussing about each of the tab, it would be a really a great favor if you look into your system and see what were the settings. Do you see the same, or do you see something different? And
Okay.
maybe come with your observations, because it could be more with the discussion point. Okay.
Yeah,
So we will take the same example of create a planned order in PPDS, so that it makes more sense to you than replicating to something else. So, but however, you can think about, say, create or change a purchase requisition or whatever it is. But create a planned order in PPDS is as good as simple as you can really think about. So it is something like you are saying, like use suitable receipt elements. So once the create planned order has been created, should this be considered across, or should this be deleted and redone for at what context, when there's a change after the action they have maintained this reuse method? You see that?
yeah.
So there's a really a purpose behind. So you have said, for example, um, use a stock which is existing, or use the existing supply elements, is what you have maintained under your action. So now you are trying to say it as mentioned, to use the one. Should you use the suitable receipt elements, or you have to delete unfixed receipt? You cannot make this delete unfixed receipt. now, because you already said that the one which is already there, you have to use it. So it will be a
Yeah.
contradiction for, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So accordingly, you are supposed to maintain your reuse mode also. So though we
Yeah.
look at a very simple process, but for every event when you're trying to maintain the steps, so that has a very great complexity that you understand now, right? So I cannot do this for every material in my planning, because it's
Yeah.
so tedious that it has to look into every event and what is the respective action and what is the reuse method and what is if it is has a multi-level. There's too much of complexity now. So that's the reason why for those for which they can really maintain, they would be able to maintain this planning procedures. And if they feel that okay, this is too much for us, they'll try to create some custom or some small parts into it so that they can easily compute. So instead of maintaining too many steps into one single planning procedure, they can still cut short
Yeah.
it, right? So they will also do it
Of
in
course.
that way. So there are a
Yes.
few clients who did it. And maybe if you're working with say automobile industry, they can't do it because the whole complexity is too high that they cannot cut short it. But say for pharmaceutical or say life sciences clients, they will try to cut short it on the basis of their possibility. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you go further? Next option for me.
Scheduling status.
Yeah. Same. Create a planned order in PPDS. Should it be scheduled? Should it be deallocated? Not relevant. Why do I mean? When do I maintain it as not relevant? For sale order, it's not relevant, right? When I say if I have an event called create sale order, it is not relevant at all, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So probably I will maintain it as not relevant. I hope you understand this. It's very simple to understand. Do you get it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Can you go further? DOP planning file entry. We will not speak about this. This is one of the advanced ATP techniques. So we will just skip this
Okay.
and we are done. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So now let's go back to Mat 1, that is Product Master, to understand rest of the other topics. And I hope you are completely clear with what is a planning procedure. It is very important for you to understand how it is
Yes.
functioning and where you can see them. Maybe you need not remember every step of an event or every
Yes.
event you
Correct.
configured, but the very motto of why did they do it or how why did they configure and planning procedure should be clear
Yeah.
for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Did you had an opportunity to create a few more materials than what you have sent me in the previous discussions, Sarita?
I no, Raghu.
No, I understand that maybe you will be occupied in the days, but if you can do that, probably it may be more helpful for you. Okay, you have a connection to live catcher issue. Okay, that's fine. What else you could do is now, because you don't have access to this, let me introduce you with what is a product heuristic and what is a heuristics today. And probably when system allows you to go and see, probably you can
Is
still
it a
go back.
system problem, Raghu? Is it a system problem or it's
Yeah,
something else?
it's a system problem. So this is altogether a
Okay.
server like catch a system. If you remember our very early discussion of architecture, we spoke about this.
Yeah.
ECC
Yeah.
has CPO has two classical DB and live cache. So live cache system is not responding. That means so probably in your client system you'll never face this problem at all because you have a basis team who works 24/7, right?
Yeah.
So they will ensure that this is never happened because every time they have to update the database, they have to clear the few logs or something like that, and
Yeah.
they will also see the health checkup. So so that it doesn't fall. But this being an idea system, you can expect this type of issues. But also this is
Okay.
also very good learning for you that okay, this is something which which speaks about the system behavior, how it goes. Maybe if you really
Yeah.
have, when you really have to encounter this type of situation in your life real time system also, Maybe you'll quickly, immediately give a call to your basis guy saying that, hey, I see something as connection to live catcher failed. That is something which is relevant to basis people. So at least that awareness will also be helpful for you, I feel. However,
Yeah, yeah,
okay,
fine.
so now you can go to the Excel. In the meantime, let us speak about an interesting concept about, say, what we say it as the heuristics. What is a
Yeah,
heuristic? What is the usage of it? And maybe you might have heard about this in your, working engaged client, right? With the client in which you are engaged,
yes,
probably you have heard about this, right? Heuristics.
yes.
Now, what's the thought process? What is a heuristic altogether? Can you tell me?
So when we run the heuristics, it based on the planning parameters, it could either convert a purchase requisition into a planned order, or uh, like it's
Okay.
basically converting the orders.
Okay. So, can you make a new sheet for for the context of heuristics? Yeah, just maintain it as heuristics. Yeah, perfect. Now, can you go to your desktop of your system? Okay. So you have few icons and all, right? Can you right click uh, and see that you have that sort option?
Yeah,
Yeah. So you say here, let us say like you are trying to, make the one of the type, for example, date modified. Do that. Yeah. What happens that all the files which are there, they have been arranged with the date modified. So one of the parameter which you have given, right? You will
yes,
also try with another one. You will see the different output, right? Now, when you see, if you see it as with naming, you would see a different combination. You would see a different, you know, the sequence in which they have been assigned, arranged, right?
yeah, yeah,
Right. Okay. Now let us go back to Excel. I know it's very simple example for you, but I have a real content for you.
yeah.
Excel. Excel where you have made for heuristic. Okay. So now let me say what is a heuristic is altogether. So heuristic is something which has a standard algorithm. Heuristic is a planning procedure where it has a standard algorithm. I'm sorry, it's a planning technique. It's a planning technique. It's a planning technique which has a standard algorithm. In standard algorithm, you say it as step-by-step procedure to achieve the output. Okay. So now
Yeah.
you can now refer to this the same way of your as how your sorting has worked at your desktop. So why there was a change of your output? Because there was a change of your input parameter, right? So maybe you have said
Yes.
first time that according to the size, and second time you have said according to the date modifier, something like that. So it was still following the same sequence. Maybe according to the input parameter, you have seen the output was varying. It was varying, right? So
Yeah.
similarly, a heuristic also does it the same way. So you have a piece of code, you have set of lines or instructions which you should follow, and by which you would get your output done. So where it is used, how it is used, and what are different types of it that we are going to understand today. And probably if your system permits, you can visit the one, or probably you can also see it in your system, in your client system. Okay, so let's
Yeah.
start with what the very basic classification. Let's stay on to the
Okay.
Excel. Yeah, we'll stay on to the Excel. Once you have done with the discussion, probably you can just check. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have something called as product heuristic. product heuristics. Yeah. Then you have something called as service heuristics. Okay. Then you have something called as scheduling heuristics. And then you have MRP heuristics. Okay. For every type of heuristic, the way how it is used, or in the context which it is used, it varies. But as I mentioned at the very top, that every heuristic is a time technique where it has a standard algorithm. So the algorithm is something which is will be the common for all of them. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's understand for the first one, that is the product heuristic. How does it help you to do the plan? Okay. So the product heuristic. So the very naming, it's giving you that it is something only relevant to products, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this tries to refer to, you say, like for example, say sometimes as lot size, or you say like for example which speaks about a specific uh, observation of a system, how it should work in the context of a material and its different parameters at the master level. Maybe the lot size is a very easy example for you for easy recognition. But you say about, say, the conversion and all, or when you say about any specific action which has to be performed for this particular product. So those all you can maintain against the product heuristics. So product heuristics, we have a good number of standard heuristics which SAP supports, which we can take. So SAP PP 002, SAP PP 007, SAP
Yeah.
PPC, as these are a few type of heuristic which are used across very widely. So probably you can just make a note of this heuristics, and probably when your system permits, you can just see them. So for product heuristics, let us see the a few list. Maybe you can just have a note of them, and probably you can see it then.
PP, right? And what was the one more heuristics, Raghu? 002, 007?
Yeah.
002, 007?
003.
Okay.
Something called SAP PP CTP underscore CTP. You can also note of that.
CPP.
It's not CPP, it's C as in Chennai, T as in Tamil Nadu, and P as in Punjab. CTP.
Okay.
You also have something called SAP PP 005.
Okay.
This is what it as part period balancing, which is an optimizer relevant one. So if your client uses optimizer, so probably you can also have a look of this heuristic. Okay.
Yeah.
So these are the most used one. So what is the assignment for you is just go through this heuristics. Maybe if it is available for you, if these heuristics are all seen by you in our idea system, that's fine. Or you can also visit your client system and see what was the difference you see, what is the commonality you see. I want you to make this columns, one for each. So like what was your observation and what did you really found as common in between all of this one, so that we can really discuss them. Okay. Of course I can
Okay.
take to that heuristics and just explain you, but no, I don't want to do that, because there's it requires a good understanding of every field
and it is you who has to do it. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Will you be doing for me that favor? Yeah.
Yes. Today
Okay.
I'm holiday. I'm having holidays, so I'll do it.
At right time I give you the homework then. Okay.
Yeah.
Let us also see for service heuristics if you have something called as SAP PP underscore 009, which you see it as the rescheduling bottom up. Mhm. Just to give, maybe you can just make a note of it to understand, is it the same one which you are trying to refer? Rescheduling bottom up.
He- Uh, uh, sorry, Raghu, could you please repeat that?
Rescheduling bottom up. So for this service heuristics, I will give you the examples. Yeah, bottom up. Yeah, very good. So I will give you about the examples, the business cases. Okay. So that
Yeah.
you can relate more to it. But I wanted to visit this heuristics. Okay. And I
Okay.
also have SAP PP 010. It is rescheduling top down. This is bottom up. This is top down. Okay. And we have SAP PP 019 and 011. So these two are used together. You cannot use for only one. So this is for fixed pegging relationships. So whenever a client uses one, he is supposed to use the other one. One is for fixing and another one is for deleting. Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, I think this should be sufficient for you. But out of your interest, if you want to see also, you can see 014. Yeah. It's also one thing very important. So it is about ascertaining of the planned independent requirements. So any planned independent requirements which are open, if you want to see, you can use this heuristic which I'm saying 014. So maybe it's only in a case where you are trying to use your planned independent requirements very hugely to the products, you would see this is to be added. So probably it's you just try to see like to what extent is your client feasible to this process. On that basis, you would see. And then the scheduling heuristics, you have something called SAP with DS. All this with which has the naming convention as SAP underscore DS. They are all eligible to say that they are DS scheduling board heuristics. DS, yeah. Make it as DS star.
Yeah.
So we will also speak about this heuristics, how does they work. And for MRP, you only have to SAP underscore MRP 1, SAP underscore MRP underscore 001, and SAP underscore MRP underscore 002. So these are two MRP heuristics. So this is what you would be focusing on. And I also have a very easy technique for you to see the let me also tell you about the transaction. It is SAP APO CDPSC 11 transaction to view or change your heuristics.
Slash. Oh.
You go to the cell and then you create that slash, then it works. Yeah, that way.
CDP
C,
SB11.
S after S it is C as in Chennai.
Okay.
C11. Can you execute this for me? Okay, you see now. Okay, so let us this is a one single node where you can really create or display all your heuristics, but let us see how it is classified and where do you see few of them to be applied and all. So that we are going to classify more in detail in our next session. So I know that it's a very big homework for you. I know that, but yeah, it would be more helpful for you to really go through them and then come up with your observations. So I will be waiting for your observations and your understandings. Uh, Very excited about that. And probably you see that whenever you see any heuristic, it has an algorithm. You see that? So anyone you pick,
Yes.
it has an algorithm. So what an
Yeah.
algorithm consists of, maybe if you just double click on it, maybe you don't see anything so specifically, but it gives you the information about what does the algorithm does for you, that you can see. So yeah. So it's just again as just as a hint of program name similar to that, because it internally consists of the steps and sequence of the things which it should be doing. And if you see, sometimes your client is creating, say, some custom heuristics. Okay. So you would see again they start with Z and all. Okay. So try to see
Yeah.
them. It has a replicance to the one which they have copied it from. Say for example, we are trying to duplicate from a heuristic called SAP PP 002, which I considered as one of the heuristic. So if any changes to the values they want to do, they will have to do it as a customization. What is the changes? So now can you go back to the initial screen, one single step back, and try to pick up that SAP PP 002 or 7, either of the anything else.
Is it this
Can
one?
you go down?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see it now. Very good. Yeah. So yeah, double click on it. Okay. So this is what a standard SAP PP 002 is meant for. Number of periods as 0, let us say, or avoid surplus, something like that. If I want to do a change to this, say you have these other options, avoid surplus and all. Can you see them?
Yeah.
Yeah. If I want to do this not as avoid surplus but FIFO or something like that, and if I want to maintain some number of period values, period types and all, so I would try to maintain it under as Z SAP PP 002, something like that, where I understand that okay, this was a copy of SAP PP 002, and I've done some changes to the standard which was existing. So every planning heuristic has its own story. I would say this because it's very interesting to know. So I want only to, at least if your time permits, at least try to go for the whole product heuristics first, because we're still in the product heuristics, and only the time permits you. Probably you can see for the rest like service heuristics, or you say the scheduling, or let us say even this MRP heuristics, right? So I wanted to
Yeah.
visit every field over there and then try to understand what is the significance of it. And when I'm going to give you a business context, then you say, okay, this is how it works. Okay. So you have more linkage to it. That's the reason why I wanted to maintain your observations and your commonalities which you have found onto the Excel, so that it doesn't become volatile.
Yeah.
Okay. Right? Any questions
Yeah.
for me?
No, Raghu.
No, right? So
Yeah.
if you double click again on the one of the heuristics, if you just double click it, so you see something called as icon, button, text, and all. So which you in the top of algorithm,
Mm.
icon and
Yeah.
button, text, and all. This is something which you would see if you have to visit your client system. If they are trying to maintain some Z, they also maintain these icons because the user is given a privilege to execute these heuristics as user friendly. So they can also give this icon and some text. Say for example, so you see here new entries is something as a text, right? You see the text there, but it's actually an option,
Yes.
right? It's actually an option, right? So the same way happens. So they maintain some, with new entries as a text, and they also maintain some icon to it as a create page, as how you have a create page symbol, right? Similar to that, they'll
Yeah.
create a icon to it, and that icon symbol will be seen by you under this icon of this heuristic. So when we have finished with a very basic understanding of where are they assigned and how are they assigned and all those details, probably you have to revisit to understand. Okay, does it so try to replicate to your client more, or try to see more in the client system, because this being an idea system probably don't see all of these options, but it makes more sense if you really visit your client system, right, Sarita?
Okay,
because,
sure.
because you have an every opportunity of seeing the custom there, and somehow or the
Ye-
other how you should also be having that awareness of what is the custom they have made. So that's what I want you to achieve also in the business context, so that you make yourself more engaged with your right. So you have
Yeah.
too many tabs to see, you have too many fields to understand for everyone. So I strongly suggest you first start with product heuristics, finish up, and
Yes.
have a note of every field you have visited, what you understood by it. You can use the F1 help. You need not do the googling at all. A basic F1 help will suffice you. Or you feel that, okay, I have understood this, is it the right way or not, you want to do you want to understand some clarification, you can make a note of it against that heuristic which for which you are trying to you know understand. Okay,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
that Excel should be briefing me about when the next for tomorrow session, or yeah, can you do it for today? I mean, will the day sufficient for you to do this? What do you think?
Yes. Yes. It should be sufficient.
It's a product heuristics wise, still only product heuristics, at least you can do it, right? Okay, tomorrow when
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
are trying to visit our Excel, I would be able to see that, okay, for every heuristic which you have seen, okay, for PP002, PP003, 007, what was something, every field it had and what it really meant, that understanding you are going to give me with Excel, right?
Yeah.
Or if required, you can also um, um, create some screenshots if required on the Excel
Yeah.
for quick reference if needed. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm completely fine to pre-close the session at a 10 minutes earlier. But if you have any questions, yeah, you can
Y-
ask me.
Nothing related to subject, Raghu. Just wanted to check, like, how many days is, I mean, like, left over to complete the module, because I'm planning to relocate to Hyderabad. Um,
Mhm.
Currently, I'm staying in Pune.
So do you want me to
So just,
fasten up the things? I'm not going too much of fast, but if you feel that, okay, you want to fasten up, let me know, because uh, at least for this sessions I want it to be a bit slow.
uh, yeah,
But
yeah,
if you
this
feel
is
that, okay, you
fine.
want
Yeah.
to make it more faster, let me know. I'll just try to make the things faster then. I understand
Oh,
your thought process, but just let me know if you want to do it in another way. We can go faster. Yeah, that's fine. It's up to you.
no, not about the fastness. Like, just thought of, like, increase the timing for about another 15, 20 minutes.
The timing. Okay, okay, okay. I get you.
Yeah,
Currently
so we can complete.
I have other aspirants, after 8. So now I
Okay,
have
okay,
schedule is already, it's already picked up. So the other aspirants were looking for me. So but maybe if time permits me, I will just increase the time if required. Right, Sarita?
okay. Yeah,
But
sure.
I don't think maybe it's too much is necessary for you to rush with the topics now, because this being very important topics. Not at least
Though I
now.
have this complete month I have now.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. That's completely fine. You would see, we will be more than 85% when we have, by the end of this month. Okay,
Oh, oh, great. Okay, okay,
so
sure.
probably more than 85. Maybe it can be sometimes even 95 also sometimes. So it just depends on how fast we really take up the things. But I don't want to rush with this topic. Sorry to say this, because these are very important.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah. Thank you so much for
So
paying lots of attention for today's session to make it interactive. And I hope you have enjoyed
thank
with
you
the
to Raghu.
conversation.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
have a great day
Bye.
ahead.
Yeah.
Happy holiday. Bye bye.
Bye.
This conference will now be recorded.
Yes, I think now I have.
Could you please open your Excel where you have made a
Y-
set of heuristics
Yes,
which you are supposed to see, and yeah, we'll discuss about it first.
yes,
Primarily, at the context wise, it is so small, but at the functionality wise, it has a very importance. Probably why? Because we have the three ways of planning. If you remember the discussion, planning procedure, product
yeah,
heuristics, and interactive. So interactive planning has also a great influence when you are trying to use with this heuristics. The reason why it is
yeah.
one of the most important topic to understand. So you want to understand how
I
well
tr-
you able to make
yeah,
discrimination about each product heuristic. Yeah, that's it.
yeah. I though yesterday I had a holiday, but I got very less time because I was asked to work. But however, I tried in my client desktop, and I've seen that they have customized this SAP PP002 to YPP002, and
Mm-hmm.
I could see there are they have customized in standard one. It is like a avoid surplus over here, wherein in the customized one they have used FIFO, I think, which is first in first out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and there I could find certain observations like retain mode and retain operations are checked. Planning file entry is also checked. In strategy also all the tabs are checked. But what is my observation is, in standard, like as I said, this is used in standard heuristics.
Right. Very good.
Only
Okay.
retain mode is checked in the standard one,
Mm-hmm.
and lot size dialog box is also checked in interactive planning, and the planning file entry was not checked in the standard one.
Okay. So probably one
uh,
or the other way they want the planning for entry to be done. So if they have already checked in the PP heuristic, sometimes you would see it's not unchecked here. Sometimes, or you say like for sometimes where I don't have to really maintain this planning for entry. Probably you should also see now for a product, does it has a planning procedure, and it also has a product heuristic. If yes, you see that. Is there any step which is there any event which speaks that the planning for entry has to be created, and also that should also be a checkpoint. Hope you understood what I'm trying to say you, because one of the event is also there for you where it says to create a planning for entry, right, Sanitha?
yeah,
So and there could be a step or there could be an event wherein it creates or it triggers the execution of product heuristic. So in that case, probably he need not maintain in the heuristic level because it is already as an event in planning procedure. Do you get me?
okay. If planning procedure is not maintained, then this needs to be maintained, you mean?
No, I'm just
I mean,
saying maybe if it is not needed, that is fine. But there can be also a situation where he can be
okay,
also
okay.
maintaining it under a event, and then probably he need not maintain it.
Over
So even
here,
that
correct.
you can do it. Yeah, very good. Okay, go ahead.
Mm. So with the customization one with 003, I didn't find any changes. It is same, but I tried to simulate by raising an order. Uh, 1 minute. I tried to standard one. Anyways, we know like whatever lot size parameters we have given, based on that it generates the order.
Very good.
So I used this particular heuristics planning of shortage quantities. So I raised an order forecast for 450. So the shortage quantity was -15, but because I have given the fixed lot size as 100, so for that -50 it has generated 100. So it is respecting the heuristics.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah, and the heuristics PP005, to run this heuristics, it was giving an error like procurement cost needs to be maintained in the product master.
Yeah, it is. So basically, this heuristic which you are trying to see 005, it is somehow very much helpful when the client has an optimizer in place, because
Right.
maybe
Yeah.
he has more than one work center which is there working for him. Probably on cost basis, he want to see like, okay, should I go for resource one or resource two? In that case, it makes more relevance to the planner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the reorder point planning, though I have given the settings in product master like this, and I have chosen the reorder point method as one, and I've
Mm-hmm.
given no, I changed the reorder point. I mean
Mm-hmm.
stock level.
Mm-hmm.
Still the orders was not getting generated.
Yeah,
It's,
because you
hmm.
see, so you see here that there was a forecast of 4, right? And what is the existing stock of it? Nothing.
No. Yeah, I realized that I've changed. I didn't change the screenshot. I've changed the reorder point planning stock to 300, and then I made the safety stock should be as 100. Still, it was not generating.
You can see it now. We can give it a try now. That's fine.
I'm not sure. Like I cannot log into APO. It says partner not reached.
Is it now? It's only now the problem has come.
Yes, when I started logging in this morning, since then it's like this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, just a minute. Okay, Sarita, I gave them a hint that you are having some impediment with your system access. So probably they will fix
Okay.
it as soon as
La
possible.
Last night when I was working, it was fine, and now when
Yeah,
I'm logging in,
I understand, because it could be a problem with the server and its connectivity. That's fine.
okay, okay, fine.
Yeah. Probably
So,
if you have your lower environment system, then of course not in this laptop, but that's fine. Just open it and see how does it work for any like for example, you have a development system, for example. Just create a material, create a forecast, and then try to create the execute the product heuristic with reorder product planning and see how does it work.
okay,
Okay, so what you should see, what should be the awareness for you when you are trying to create a reorder planning is, just imagine that your current say forecast value is, or you say the current demand is 300. Okay,
Yeah.
and now, or it was 450, right? In our case,
Yes. Yes.
yeah. And when we
450
look
first.
at it,
Uh,
the value as say 300. That means it has no stock first. It has no supply element, so it is supposed to create a supply element, and then it
yeah.
sees, okay, is it below the one, and then it is trying to create it, and then ensure that you are not using the reorder point technique as one. The reorder point technique one states that check from the product stock from the product master. Maybe there could be a problem with your material which is not having any stock at all, so better to make it as blank. Okay,
Okay.
so when you
Okay.
maintain it as blank, probably it is just trying to refer only to the lot size of that material. Hope you got me.
Yes. Yes.
Probably for you in your well connected systems, like in your lower environment system or your client system, you would never see this problem because it has some other stock, probably because in the order the data which you are trying to process, it's a real-time data, so probably it has the data about the stock also, so probably even if you have maintained it as one, it's still fine over there. Hope you got me.
Ye- Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
The only challenge which we have, like we have limited set of products, Raghu, like a 2 to 3, and out of which the many people were testing on it.
No, no,
So
I understand. I completely understand. But I just want to give a hint that, okay, how does it really work?
sure,
Maybe
sure. Yeah, yeah,
if not at the real working times, somewhere when you're when you would expect that, okay, no people would work in that
yeah.
time, probably you can just check it, right?
Yes, yes, sure. And Raghu, I need some help. Like yesterday, there was lots of issues. This characteristic class, when I'm trying to activate the integration model in CFM2, after saving in a CFM1, I was getting this error lock object.
Are you
So
speaking about an IDS system?
no, in my client server.
Ah, acha, acha. Mm-hmm.
Yes, so I tried, like I browsed it, but what and I got some documents stating that to check the lock entries in SM12 and asked to delete. So I tried to delete, still like a whole day it was like this only lock mode, a lock object, and it was showing my ID. You have any like have you came across such kind of error?
It was only for characteristics, right?
Yes, I was trying to integrate to APO characteristic class.
Mm-hmm. So whenever you are trying to, so I'll just give you about a hint about what are the things you should take care when you are trying to do it. Probably you can just try this in the lower environment and then you try to do it in the production. Okay. So first thing is, see that is your class which you are trying to set. What is the status of it? It is released, locked, or something like that. Because every characteristic which you are trying to use, it is accessed or it is created against a class, right? You get me?
Yes.
Right. So first see the
Okay.
class status. Where do you see it?
Uh, and ECCL.
Yeah, in ACC, what's the transaction I'm asking?
I MM01 at the time of creation of the material only they will assign these classes and characteristics.
Right, agreed. So you have
Classification.
CL03, CL0123, creation, change, and display. Okay, yeah. So see that if it is locked or it says that it is not to release, something like that. Probably even if you're trying to save the characteristics of that class, it could be a problem for you while it is saving. See this first. Number two, using your CFM5 transaction, see that are there
Hmm?
any other integration models which are there for this class and characteristics already active.
No,
See
I
the,
checked. There is only one integration model for this class
okay,
and
you already
characteristics.
checked this, right? CFM5.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay, and after seeing that, okay, it has no integration model active, you are trying to create your own. Am I right?
No, there was single integration model which is already there in the system. After running this integration model in CFM1, I was trying to activate it in CFM2. Then I was getting this error, SIF mode error, lock object.
Yes, I'm saying the same. So, for example, you have, say, your already active integration model has, say, 5 characteristics. Okay, let us say your already
Yeah.
integration model has 5 active integration models, and say you are adding 2 more now. Okay,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
5 plus 2 7. So now you see, is it giving you the same number? Because you say that it's already active. So when you're trying to activate this, when you're going for CFM1, you have something called as detail. Okay,
Yes,
in the,
correct.
in the detail,
Yeah.
in the detail, you will see what are all the classes or characteristics which you are trying to save. So see that, okay, are my 7 characteristics are moving now or not?
Yes, it was moving. It
It
was
was moving.
moving.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you the program name that is called as Remodini.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Let
Yeah.
me answer a call.
Yeah.
Sarita, can you give a try to open the recipe now and see is it really working? No,
No,
right?
Raghu.
I
Yeah.
want you to give this screenshot to Praveen or to whom you really make the mails every time. I want you to do that. Okay?
Yeah. I sent Raghu.
You sent with the properties. Huh? Okay.
Screenshot. Yeah. Yeah.
No. I'm saying log on properties. Did you send that?
Only this screenshot I have sent.
Mhm.
1 minute.
So whenever you have this problem in future, so with what properties you are logging in? What I mean by properties is if you go to that APO as a name, and if you right click on it, you go to properties. So this is the way. The system ID it is blank. Why? Hold on. You have
Yeah.
did any changes to this?
No, Raghu.
Hold on.
Last night also I used 1 minute. There was Praveen's email.
Try to use. What is the instance number? Is it 78?
Yes.
Try to maintain the system ID as SCM, supply chain management, SCM. Hit enter. No, not for ECC at least, but okay. I'll also tell you about ECC. How what it should be. Hold on. For for ECC, it should be probably EHP. Yeah. What is the instance number? Is it 58?
Yeah.
If it is 58, maintain it as EHP.
Okay.
Hit enter. Now you go back to APO and properties.
Yeah. One.
Okay, wait, wait.
Yes.
Mhm. It's there, right? Oh, okay, that's fine. But ensure that whenever you are trying to speak to the team, you are also
Yeah.
having this, which they understand by a clear
Yeah.
understanding. Okay, this is the server you are using. So again, you need not drop too many mails.
Okay. Okay. Well, then.
Will do. However, they have an information not working. Okay, I was speaking about remove the name. It's Rimodini.
Rem-
RIMODNI.
okay.
Okay, so this is one the way how you can also activate your integration model. So what you have to do is I'll tell you the technique. Follow this. Go first and execute CFM1. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
execute CFM1.
Okay.
After you have executed the CFM1, you have to remember your integration model name, that application
Yes.
and all,
Yeah.
and go and execute this program, remove the name, which will also give you an
Okay.
initial screen as how you see it in the CFM1, where you are supposed to maintain your
Correct.
application name and all those details. Okay,
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
have a checkbox called activate or execute for inactive integration models also.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm.
see about the checkbox. Okay, and then execute this. You get me, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you do this. You do this thing, and then try to see is it helping you to fix the one, because probably it will not see the queues, and it is what it does. This program does is it forcibly transfers the data through that integration model channel.
Okay. But somehow remotely, not for this case. I tried for other case. Raghu, it was not working because I've made changes to the resources in ECC, in CRC to transaction, and I mean I have changed the start and end time as well as the number of individual capacities to one in ECC for some of the resources.
Okay.
Then I tried to integrate, but the changes were not getting updated to some of the resources in APO. Then I tried doing this remotely. What it was saying, like the planner code does not exist. So what I have done in CFM1 integration model, I have excluded that planner code which was not existing in T system.
No, no, no,
Um,
no, no, no. So before you do that, so that means that did you also activated your integration model or reactivated the integration model for your work center?
yes, everything is there.
So when you have
Everything
already
is
activated your integration model, do you see that on the same planner, see as how you have an MRP controller, similarly happens with your resource. Also, it has that controller value, whatever it is. So when you are trying to shift it, see that after your shifting is done, when you go to the initial screen of Resource Master, you see the latest changes were updated or not. You see the timestamp. Okay. Only on that basis
oh,
you can come to a conclusion that where my last changes were updated or not. Do you get me? So for example, you had created a material called ZSAHP in your IDA system. Okay.
yes.
Now let us say you have, whenever you go to the initial screen of Product Master, you would see a timestamp. Okay.
Okay.
If you have by any chance if you have maintained a screenshot of Product Master initial page by any chance in your Word document or any other place, so probably you will be, yeah. So
Uh,
here it's just a lot size. If you go to the first initial tab, you would be seeing that it has the initial, when was it actually transferred? See that is the timestamp is something a new or latest one or not. And the same way you also should also see in the work center which you have saved, is it updated with the latest timestamp or not? Only on that basis you could conclude that my latest changes were updated to my API system or not. You get me?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, and that is one of the good way where how you can first understand that okay, where my changes are updated or not. And then, so when you are trying to speak about your resource master, as you know, so class and characteristics are something which are independent, right? They are not material dependent objects.
Yes. Yeah.
So probably what you should ensure that is your integration model which you are trying to send, is it an independent model or it is being combined with something else? If that's the case, probably
Uh,
you should not encourage it. You get me?
yes. Yes. I've seen Raghu. It was only class and characteristics.
Okay, you
Check and yeah.
if it is not a production system, you have every right to create a new integration model. Okay, to create a new
Yeah.
integration model with only specific to that work center characteristics which are there, and then try to shift it. Okay, try to take it with the new one. Hello,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
you hear
Yes,
me, right?
Raghu.
Yeah, and you can use this after you have done with your first step of generation of your integration model. Instead of going to CFM2, try to use Remodini, and from there you can also activate the integration model.
Okay.
Hope you got my other way
Yes.
of around how you are trying to do the integration model activation, right? But this is to be done only in a case of troubleshooting, but not at every time, please.
Yes.
Remodini.
Uh, yes. Could you please tell me like what is the impact of using remote in
Okay, it's like shaking of database completely for to change the to go for to initiate
to
the
integrate?
transfer of data. Okay, if I have to just say you like, imagine you are trying to unload a box. Let us say unload a box, and what you do is like it's like you are trying to shake the whole box to get it emptied. How you do it? You'll just try to shake it like anything, right? If you feel that okay,
Y-
there's something else is still internally it is still existing, just try to shake it like anything, right? To understand, to
Yeah.
see that okay, it falls, everything falls out of it. The same way
Yeah.
it happens here. You can do it because this is like forcible activation of changes, so it's not suggested to do it frequently, but as
Yeah.
troubleshooting.
I have seen because before running this remote we have made some changes in RES01 transaction in APO, so everything got lost. uh,
Never you do it like that. RES01, when you are doing it, it is not the same how it is in CR02, right?
but certain fields like a maximum stretch, a maximum shrink, reference resources,
Mhm.
these are not there in
In
this
the ECC, I understand.
ECC.
Yeah, for that
Yeah.
you are supposed to do the changes. Yeah, I understand that you can change it, and you have lost those changes is what you are trying to say, right?
Yes, yes. After running this program, all the changes
Okay.
got lost.
Okay. I will also tell you about another important check, because you're speaking about resource master. There's something called as live catch a check of a resource, which probably I can only show you once if I have the system.
OM17, Raghu.
99. No, no, no.
OM9.
Not that way. Using the resource master itself, you can do that. There's a navigation option where you can just check it. So using
Okay.
that way, you can see that is my resource is consistent in live cache or not. So that's another check which you could also do it. So you just make a note of it as a check execution, and maybe tomorrow I'll show you, Sarita.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Uh,
And don't combine your maybe for your queries, please make another Excel, because
yes, sure. Okay.
Okay, what were else were your observations?
In terms of heuristics, Raghu.
Yeah, yeah. I'm more excited to know about them.
So like I thought because of this thing only it is not generating orders. I've
Correct,
changed
right?
the order completely. Yeah.
It's correct, right? So if it is 925, probably it should not create yet because though it has zero as a stock, but what it sees is like it is still what are the order which it is going to generate. It's obviously not still below the reorder point.
Yes,
Maintain
yes.
that, let's just and see does it work. Might say for 100 or 50, whatever it is. I'm seeing that way. Does it help you to create the one? Okay.
Yeah, I tried that one as well, Raghu. I changed it to 300, and gave a safety stock of 100. I'll try today, I'll try to remove that method to blank, and then I'll see.
Correct. Do that. Need not maintain a safety stock as of now because you are trying to create a planned order with reference to reorder point only. So safety stock is something which you can also add to the observation. That's fine. That's really good. But I say okay as of now, just try to see
It is
only with the reorder point with no safety stock as consideration. And then if it is starting generating you the the order, probably then you see like what the case if I maintain some safety stock value, how it is. So probably what happens is ideally if you have your error-free system that is in your let us say in your client system when you have maintained say and safety stock method or like safety stock value. So a reorder point also considers is there any safety stock at least if not probably it is going to add to the planned order which is going to get created. Okay, still have other options in the lot size like say for example as, as per the lot size you have minimum lot size, maximum lot size, round of value. I thought maybe you will also go through them, but okay, if system doesn't didn't allow you to work, that's fine. Probably you can do for next session at least. Okay, and I want you to invest much more time on this because it's a very important topic altogether. Sarita.
okay, Raghu.
Okay, I also have another want to make it clear for you that the strategy settings which are there are very important. So I don't know to what extent you are able to classify to understand because the strategy setting which you are trying to see that we are going to also speak about them in the interactive planning. Okay, so once we are going to start about that topic, probably I will ask you again like what was the thing which you have seen in the context of heuristic strategy profile. So please have a note of all the fields which you are trying to see in common for product heuristics under the situation of strategy.
It's-
I mean
o-
under the tab of strategy. Okay, so I want you to do that. You got me.
Okay. Yes. I've seen all the fields are common across the heuristics. Only some was
Only for
using
product
infinite
heuristics.
scheduling.
Only for
Yeah.
product heuristics you are trying to classify, yeah, it is. But when you're trying to see for the other type, you would see a difference.
Okay.
So now that you're trying to see similar type of heuristics, this was the very reason why I said you to like ensure that at least you have finished with your product heuristics because the other session, if you are trying to see the discussion of our maybe if you are trying to see say scheduling heuristics or service heuristics, you will definitely see a difference and then probably you will be able to quickly recognize okay what was the difference and how it is really a valid point for the difference in value. Okay, but you have now a clear idea like how does a heuristic works, what's the necessity of it, what is it when you do the changes to a parameter how the output would vary because we have seen in a case like even in a very a small example of sorting of your files, the change of one single option called save according to the size or say the date modified, you have seen that the way how the output has changed, right? So the
Yes.
same happens with the heuristic. So every change of every parameter would really make the difference of the working style of the heuristic. Okay, so first in first out, and if you say avoid surplus or avoid delays, which are the three different options which you would really have. So did you had an understanding of how do they work? What is the differentiation with their working style? Did you had an opportunity to see them?
No, I mean, in the simulation, I didn't find any difference, Raku.
Yeah, yeah, I understand because it's just about a one single order. Okay, so probably you will also receive a short document which helps you to understand there's something called a concept called net requirement calculation. Probably after looking forward for the document, probably you go through that document and then you will understand, okay, how does the very small change in this FIFO or you say our surplus or delays, how it differs. So I'm going to send you the document. Maybe Praveen will update you with the document also, and also you can have a quick reminder or understanding of your server availability for tomorrow's session. Right, Sarita?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
So probably you will be receiving a document for net requirement calculation. But basically what's a net requirement calculation, please tell me. You heard about this term,
What,
right?
yes, during the reporting, I heard, but not at the time of planning. Uh, it is basically the calculation of all the demands.
Only the demand. So I
Uh,
would say it's if I have to say if it is a calculation of demands, I would say demand aggregation sometimes, or I would say total demand. Why should I say it as net requirement calculation? Am I right?
yes.
You
Uh,
go to your okay, that's fine. Excel is there for us in front of. Now let us just create a small scenario. Say you have a sale order SO01, say 1000. Yeah, and okay, sale order quantity is 1000. So just make it a SO1 because you have to create multiple 102 and all of those things. So say 2 or
yeah,
3 at least. Okay, and then say SO02 and all. Maybe one below the other makes more sense for you.
yeah,
But easy to understand and recognize also. Some other any value.
yeah.
Hmm. So 3 say 300. Okay, perfect. Now you have say a stock say 500 and say you have a production order of say 150. Just create a right hand side. At the left hand side you have sale orders, that is the demand, and at the right hand side you have the supplies. So say stock with some batch, stock 1 2 3 and all. Yeah, so stock as whatever it is, stock 1 2 3 and all with
Okay,
some quantity, say 500. Yeah, 500. Yeah, okay, and say production order.
okay,
Now I understand that if you have multiple stocks, that is still is very is easy. Now if I have another case like production order of say some value 200 or whatever it is. Okay. Now
okay,
if I have to see check to understand what is my net requirement calculation, this is the way how it does. So it says 1000 plus 500 plus 300, that is 1800 is overall demand in my hands,
yeah,
right? Right. So 1800. And what about the supply? It's 700 now, right? So my net
yeah,
requirement calculation is 1800 minus 700,
okay,
right? Whatever the value it is. So this is the net requirement calculation which I have done. So what is this SO0 1 2 3 which you are seeing? It can be for across the whole day, or it can be at a given point of time. It just varies, right? So now according to
Yes.
this, how should your supply should work? First in, first out. So first sale order one, it has to see all the receipt elements which are there. So stock and production order, and then it is trying to suffer or trying to create a additional planned order of 300, so that it can consume the stock, production order, and that additional planned order. Okay, first in, first out, or you say avoid surplus. So at an aggregated level, they'll try to say. So this differentiation, you'll have a much more clarity once you go through the document, right? Because
Okay.
my document, it also gives you with an understanding of the graphical understanding with the concept and requirements. So maybe once you have done with that, going through the document, you can also make your same Word document where you can maintain note of observations.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hope you have no questions for today. Number one.
Yes, Raghu.
Mhm. Okay, so you will be expecting number one, the document for net recovery calculation, and secondarily, I also want you to do this checking of the other things which I said you as an assignment point of your assignment.
Okay. Okay. Now, through the simulation, Raghu, or point of view, or you're asking like to check what is the difference?
No, no, no. You don't see a great difference when in the context of our at least our idea system. Okay, but
Yeah.
after you go through the document, you will understand theoretically at least that what's the difference. You get me? So that awareness
Yes.
is fine. This awareness is fine. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Fine. Thanks,
And
Raghu. Thank you so much for
yeah,
taking,
yeah,
for addressing my queries.
yeah, that's fine. Completely fine. Okay. So if no other questions, and I know that you have an impediment logging your system, so maybe you can, take it up with the coordination team and understand when it can be getting clear, and let them also maybe if possible probably drop a mail with the login properties for better, understanding, so that
Yeah. Yeah.
they
Sure.
also have that awareness that okay, it's the login details, because maybe the team has multiple login IDs, right? Probably they may not remember it, so it makes more clear understanding to them with their login details. Okay, so both the ECC and
Okay.
API systems, I think you are facing the problem. So
Yeah.
try to maintain the two screenshots of both of them.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay,
Definitely. Yeah.
okay.
Thanks a lot, Raghu.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking the assignments very seriously and doing it very good. I was impressed with the way how you have took it, and so I also want you to take it forward by the other understanding of the strategy and other details, and maybe you can have the discussion for tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
have a great day ahead. Bye bye.
You too. Bye.